say good morning to State Senator Tim Sheldon. Morning, Tim.
Good morning, Jeff.
How you doing
How are you?
out there?
Yeah, happy 58th day of the legislature.
58, not like anybody's counting, but running a 60-day session this year. So we're just 2 days away, and I think we're going to have you in for a sit-down after it's all wrapped up. But with a couple days left, what do you think of how things have been going here this time?
Well, I think it's going okay. We're going to be, I believe we'll be out on time. You know, last year we were in 193 days. I mean, that was amazing. But the one thing that kind of keeps you there is too much money. I mean, this is funny, but our projections now, the state's projections, our revenue forecast is over the end of the, I think it's the next biennium, we'll have $2.3 billion more than we expected coming in.
Wow.
And that's just primarily generated by real estate excise taxes in Seattle. Now, some people think that, some economists say that maybe we've reached the top of that curve right now and we'll start down a little bit, but it's still been much unexpected, I'll just say, because, you can work with the numbers, and then when the numbers start to really coming in and you realize, the forecasters realize that it's been more vibrant than we thought. So we're putting some money in the rainy day fund, and my take on this is, Washington's economy fluctuates faster and farther than any other state. We are very trade dependent with Boeing and our high-tech companies. So we want to build a good rainy day fund and be ready. So.
You mentioned trade. One of the things going on nationwide is the president's recent trade tariff proposals. What do you think about that? The steel and the aluminum are most, I think, number one steel importer are just our friends up north, Canada. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's going to work out as well. Aluminum, there's sectors of the economy that will benefit and those that won't. But in our state, we have always been, up until here just recently, huge aluminum producers. Mm-hmm. And that's because of low-cost power. Wenatchee had a plant. Right now there's a possibility that plant could reopen or reopen. And Ferndale also had a plant, and that could put on another line. So interesting, I saw on television the other night that beer sales, beer cans, aluminum beer cans are a big deal.
Yeah.
And if we can produce more aluminum, there's a lot of uses for aluminum, and it is also a strategic metal. So you think of airplanes and World War II, and those were, the aluminum producers were a huge part of our economy because of that low-cost power and good labor force here in Washington. So one thing that, on trade side that Trump did right after he was elected was call the bluff of the Canadians on lumber imports.
Uh-huh.
And take a look at what's happening now. We have one of the hottest economies for lumber that we've had in 20 or 30 years. Lumber prices are up, log prices are up, loggers are working, mills are going full steam. So the housing boom and some of the things that have happened here recently with the hurricanes and disasters have caused the wood products firms really to go into overdrive. So that's good for Washington, good for Mason County.
We were talking to 35th District Representative Dan Griffey yesterday. We were talking about the Belfair Bypass and the new name that you have given it, and how just the name change could open it up to some possible federal dollars for considering it a freight corridor. Talk to me about that.
Well, I put it in the budget or the language in the transportation budget. I serve on the budget committee for transportation. There's four of us, and it was suggested to me by the Port of Bremerton, and they of course are an economic development arm of Kitsap County, and they have great ideas for freight corridor through Gorst, and why not add the Belfair area to it, and Highway 3 going on out to 101 and 101 and on into Olympia.
Yeah.
The official title would be SR, meaning State Route 3 Freight Corridor. And, Belfair Bypass, it sounds like a medical procedure. It's just,
It totally does.
Oh, my
You're
God,
right.
Tim.
It is. It just sounds like a medical procedure, and people say, "Sheldon, what are you talking about?" Well, it just makes sense, seriously, because of the federal dollars, they call them fast dollars, that may be available in the future. And we saw a tremendous amount of traffic after that accident at Nisqually with the train. Just a huge amount of traffic. So if you had a disaster or you had a military issue, that road is going to be essential. And we've always talked about it, that it has to be the best possible route and fastest and quickest, easiest route to get through 2 points. And, bypassing Belfair, well, it is a medical term. So I think it'll help us find additional money, but it does not. I don't want people to think take away dollars from the project to build this corridor, and it doesn't delay it. In 2019, just coming up next year, we'll start to spend, I think, at least $10 million on right-of-way acquisition, and the project's on track to be built on time.
Finally here, Senate Bill 6625. This is on the look of the Capitol campus and the outside of the beautiful campus that we know and love in the city of Olympia. On your state senator website, you have a picture of this past Thursday, a cloudy, dreary day with the Capitol Dome, and then a picture of to 2012. Is that the last time that the Capitol Dome got cleaned up?
Yes. And, it wasn't that long ago. And thinking that you can use humor in a lot of ways.
Sure.
And I think it's helped to bring attention to the appearance of the Capitol and the fact that lichen and moss have attached itself to the pate of the state, as we call it, the dome. And actually, it's been successful in the capital budget that we'll see come out today or tomorrow. We'll have dollars to begin cleaning the Capitol.
That's what I had always. I thought that because I drive by the Capitol every day, just like I'm sure you do, and a lot of people do, and it looks gross. I mean, we can all agree that the dome looks gross.
Sad.
You can see. Yeah. I mean, you can tell the way the winds come in because one side is a little darker.
One side's darker than the other.
Yeah,
it's
for
funny.
sure. I had always thought that the cleaning of this didn't happen because it was held up in the capital budget. But is that the reason why or not?
Well, the last time they cleaned it, they did it in quote unquote environmentally friendly manner, and they did not use material or chemicals that would kill the lichen and the moss.
Just get some wet and forget.
Algae and stuff that grows on there. Yeah.
I park in the legislative building because I'm one of the longest serving legislators. So seniority dictates where you can. They can take away everything, but they can't take away your parking spot.
Yeah.
And the guys in blue, I call them, the boys that work and the gals that work in the Capitol building, are very concerned about it. So I learned a lot from them, just talking about what solution was used last time, and they're very disappointed because they're in charge of that maintenance and operations down there, and the contractors were just told to do a job that was, like I say, so supposedly environmentally safe. Well, that's fine, but it didn't do the job.
Sure.
And you can see other buildings, the Temple of Justice, which they just cleaned, it doesn't look very good, and the insurance building is starting to get this attachment of moss as well. So the bill said that this material could affect the mental acuity of those that work within, and so it was. If you read the bill in all the way through, you get an idea that there is a purpose behind the madness of the language and the jokes in the bill, and I think it worked because the money is in there, and we'll start the cleaning next year. So.
There's a bill in to clean a building.
Yeah, he just put it in.
Yeah,
to put it in.
Now the
Should
bill
be a given.
the bill was actually to study the health effects on those that work inside the building because of the moss and lichen growing on it.
Right.
I mean, when he
Could
says
be mold in
when
there.
the dome is covered in slime, what does that say about the people that work beneath? Jeez, Tim.
Now I know Jeff read the bill. So.
That's funny. Well,
let's get that bill passed.
I hope to one day here in the near future be able to look across the beautiful lake and see a bright and shiny sandstone Capitol. That'd be something else.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, there's amazing how many visitors we have each year.
Oh yeah.
And the grounds and the building itself should look good. And when you got $2.3 billion in your pocket, come on, let's spend a little bit of money on the house.
Let's clean it up a little
some
bit.
cleaning solution
Very
too.
nice.
That's okay.
Senator Sheldon, nice talking with you, lightening it up here with a couple days left in the session, and yeah, let's get you back in for a visit in studio on the wrap
Definitely.
before.
I'd love
too
to
long.
do it. Thank you, gang.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good
one.
day.